very family-friendly gaming. I've been meaning to do some political videos for a while. I didn't have really time. We were like running way late, but I was like, after doing all these, some of the reacts to stuff, we had a power outage. I really wanted to do an FFG politics on the assassination of Charlie Kirk because I had lots of thoughts on that. First off, our thoughts and prayers go out to his family, all of the people at Turning Point USA, everyone who has listened to him. I'm getting very disturbed, and a lot of people are like, oh, it's getting violence like in the 60s, 1960s. There is a difference. It seems like all these Christians and conservatives are the ones that are being murdered, and it's really disturbing. I really want the people who are on the radical political left to start watching their words. They're telling everyone else, well, maybe I should watch what you say. What about you guys? What about some of these Democrats up there? They're like, go harass Republicans. Oh, don't let them eat at restaurants, and like stuff that Maxine Waters was saying. Like, where is the outrage for them going, hey, you should watch what you say. You shouldn't be so hateful all the time. Because we're seeing that, again, Christians and conservatives are the ones who are being slaughtered, being murdered. And it's obvious that, that they got these ideas from somewhere. And so, my thing is like, hey, you need to tone down your rhetoric and stop being so hateful. And, we don't need this. We don't need people getting assassinated. Look, people going and shooting up a Catholic school. Again, Christians being attacked. They don't seem to want to talk about the one theme here, which is, again, Christians are the ones who are being persecuted. They don't want to discuss it. They just want to be like, oh, well, we have to talk about guns. Guns. What about that guy who stabbed that lady on the transit
in South Carolina?
In South Carolina. So it's like, again, and then you have like the governor come out and go, oh, well, we need to do better or get more police. The guy was arrested 14 times. 14 times.
And he was released.
The police did their job 14 times.
Released.
Come on. When you do your catch and release, why don't you sit there and answer for your policies? Why isn't there like some real just, intelligent analysis going, hey, wait a minute. If we caught and arrested someone 14 times and kept putting them back on the street and then he commits even worse crimes,
You should get the death penalty.
There was multiple assassination attempts on President Trump when he was running. Again, you had these radicals on the far left spewing all this venom and hatred. Why are they never held accountable? Why is there like, you know what? We should have a conversation with them about that. They should maybe they should do a little self-analysis and see if maybe they should settle down and not act so rude, nasty, and hateful. I'm just saying here. I'm saying what a lot of people are thinking is like, hey, that's not very cool, what they're doing. And, people like the guy, the assassin, they're getting their ideas from somewhere. Someone's telling them these things. So, I never have called for violence and I never would call for violence. I disagree with different people, and I'm like, you know what? I sacrificed 4 years of my life. I have a disability for the rest of my life serving this country. For you to have the right to have freedom of speech, for you to have the right to have the opposite opinion. As wrong as you want to be, as destructive as your ideas are, I still believe you're allowed to have them. And unfortunately, this is, the cost of freedom is people doing horrible things like this. And it's just, to me, it's sad because so many people learned from Charlie Kirk. He helped educate so many people. And had a wonderful family and everything, and it's really, gross and disgusting that someone would say, you know what, I can't debate this person, I can't, outsmart them, so I'm gonna just murder them. Really? And the thing is, I guess it hits me even harder because I have received death threats for spreading the word of God, for bringing up concepts like, hey, why don't we take God's definitions of good and evil, and are we doing good when we play some of these video games? Are we doing evil? I ask those questions. I get hate threats for that from people who say, I'm tolerant of diversity. Well, you know what? I'm diverse from you, and you're not intolerant. You're hateful. So I think there really needs to be a real soul searching on the political left and go, hey, maybe we shouldn't be saying those things. So that's my thoughts on this topic. I'd like to thank everyone for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.